Hey, my name is Dev.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Vicky.
I'm Arifa, and our team name is LAAD.
So the name of our game is Go Pack 24, and it was inspired by the card game 24 that implements mathematical skills for kids age 8 to 12, but it can be played by students for any age that they have a computer. And the user is required to calculate the number 24 with four different numbers and four operations: multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. Once the user is able to pass the level, they will unlock a puzzle piece that will be part of an NC State Pride puzzle, which I drew this picture, so yay. And as a group, like, why Go Pack 24? As a group, we knew that we wanted to do a game like a math game, and the card game 24 came up in the conversation, and we decided to play it. And we all struggled very much as like college students. We needed significant improvement in our basic math skills. We felt very ashamed as engineering students, and wanted other students to not feel the same way. We made this game to redeem ourselves. Then we reflected on the fact that we haven't practiced these skills in years, but rather to build on it without looking back. Although the game seems simple, we thought it would be fun to create the game while also incorporating NC State Pride. We liked the game so much that we made a pact that every time we met to work on the game together, we would play the original game in the end of our meeting.
So this is just the science behind the game and more of a reason why we decided to do it. So the brain begins development during pregnancy to 5 weeks old. From then on, the brain will create neural pathways within the first few years of life. The brain stops developing at the age of 25, but by then, if not all of the important concepts of the brain are formed. And so the following are just the national core standards that the country has decided that each grade should do. By third grade, the student should be able to represent and solve problems involving multiplication and division. By fourth grade, they should use the four operations with whole numbers to solve problems. And by fifth grade, they should write and interpret numerical expressions. So these are just the challenges we've had while making the game, and it was deciding whether or not we want to use Scratch or Kodu. And coding the game was also difficult because it was not like any language we're learning currently as computer science majors or computer engineers. Coming up with the name of our game, Copac 24, it went through a couple improvements, but we went with Go Back 24. And working on the project with all the other college stuff going on with traditional college problems, because this game took a lot of time. Deciding what the objective of our game was and why we should do a game like Go Pack 24, figuring out how to display the numbers on Scratch, and coding the four operations.
So for our design process, first we have to decide what our game is going to look like through a brainstorming process, and we have to design a outline for what the game would contain. So we would draw up all of the screens that are needed for this game and all the elements that we need. So we have selected the numbers and combinations that we're going to implement in the game through a very helpful website in case some numbers doesn't have combinations that go to the answer. We started setting up the 12 levels that are going to be in our game and other screens like rule screen, title screen, and the puzzle screen, which includes the puzzle. And then we created the Mr. and Mrs. Wolf puzzle and split it into 12 pieces. So the player could be rewarded when they complete the entire game. we've finished coding each of the 12 levels in the game and incorporating the combinations that we have chosen into the game. That's one of the last things we did. And we went through a series of extensive tests after each level to make sure everything works just fine without bugs. And this is some screenshots from our prototype. On the right is a prototype of the puzzle pieces. On the left is a portion of our code and the testing program running on the right.
And this is just a video of some of the gameplay for our game. And then, so for advice to next year's freshmen, we just decided that like be creative, and there's nothing wrong with creating something unique. And you don't have to like do too much for your thing. And unless it like goes over your head, like go with like put in all your efforts. And the thing is like make friends with your teammates, because you're going to spend a lot of time with them outside of class working on these projects. And work on your teamwork skills. When you make a timeline in milestone 1, stick to it, because it'll be helpful at the end if you don't procrastinate. And Fed comes quickly before you know it, so be diligent. And it's only a 1-credit class, so don't be too stressed and have fun. And these are our references, which includes the original 24 game and our solutions for the questions we had. But our main references were this.